I wrote down what I was going to say because I think some people last time complained that I'm not very articulate, which is true. So I wrote it down during work. Thank you for all the comments on the song and the video. I read all of them and they make me really happy. That was my stomach, sorry. That song was inspired by loss, and I wanted to incorporate nature and stuff. And the sound of cicadas, because I feel like at the end of summer and into fall, everyone feels like heavy and nostalgic and stuff. So, yeah. And I feel like once you start seeing, is this lighting a bit strange? Okay, I think that's somewhat better, but I don't really know. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, so you remember your past years and stuff. Maybe when you're walking down the sidewalk and it's not really feeling like summer anymore, it's feeling like fall, and all the leaves are turning orange and yellow, and it's just a certain smell in the air, and then you're like, wow, I remember all of my past end of summers into fall, because especially for me, or like people whose school tends to start in the fall, like it's the beginning of school and stuff. So yeah, I remember when I was 13, I think I was going to 7th grade, and I was waiting for the bus, and there were like cornflowers, and I picked one and I put it in my pocket. I think I was wearing a flannel to middle school, my first day of middle school. Yeah, and then I started crying on the bus because I didn't want to grow up. And I felt like, oh, 7th grade, it's going to turn into 8th grade, and then I'm going to be in high school, and then I'm going to be in college, and then I'm going to be dead. So it was fine though. I just like faced the window so no one could see me cry. And then I stopped crying because I'm like, cannot go to school crying. Yeah. Anyways, back to the song. I thought it would be good to make because in terms of the meaning of the song, it's not too specific to me, but to people in my life who have experienced a lot of loss. So, yeah, especially people who tend to have lost loved ones at a younger age. So, that's why I said 17, also because it's the only teen that had like 3 syllables, 17. I guess I could say no, 18, I guess, not really. 11. 11. 11 feels weird because they're like too young. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 17. Yeah. So I do remember I had a friend. She was 17, I was 17. And then she didn't come to school one day. And then she texted us that it was because her mom died of brain cancer. I had no idea she had brain cancer. And so she wasn't at school, and she didn't tell anyone that, which is like, of course, keep that to yourself if you don't want anyone to know, that's your business. But yeah, and then my little sister, I remember, I think it was the same year. I think, so my little sister and I are only 2 years apart. So I think she was a freshman. And her friend, also the way they did this at the school, at the high school, was absolutely stupid, like insensitive. They just announced one morning, like in the morning, just randomly, that this girl had passed away, and I don't know if they asked like to the entire school. I don't know if they asked for consent from the parents, or I I don't know why they did that because it was very, I don't know how to explain, but I think um, the way they did it was a little bit insensitive, and I can't explain that to you. You kind of have to be there, but yeah, I guess the way they said it as well is like, okay, um, but yeah. So then, I had no idea that that was my sister's friend. So I was, I think, in one of my classes in the afternoon, maybe, and yeah, she texted me. She was in the counselor's office, and yeah, so I went to go see her and gave her a hug. But like, I was bad at hugs at the time, like, um, being like, I don't know how to explain, but like, um, close and stuff with people because like, okay, that's another story. But I had basically, when I was younger, like compartmentalized my feelings a lot because I had some stuff that I like had to deal with that made me kind of shut down emotions sometimes. So hugging for me was not really a thing, unless it was, especially my family for some reason, because like that stuff was tied to my family. But that's another story, and I probably shouldn't talk about it. But so yeah, it was her friend, and she had died in a car crash, um, because I think, I don't know what happened. Something at an intersection. I don't remember, but yeah, and then so she was 15. So yeah, and then recently, um, at the beginning of summer, my friend's dad died, um, of brain cancer as well. Brain cancer is a big one. Um, I don't know if you were here, but I did. Me and my family like made 1,000 cranes for his dad, but yeah, it did not. Yeah, so um, I haven't personally experienced the death of a parent or a close friend, um, but I felt that putting people's experiences with loss in a song would be would maybe hopefully help other people relate to it. Because, oh yeah, and you know what? My other friend's mom last summer also died, and I don't know how. Um, but that was crazy because it was just so random. But it seems to be around this age, like 15, and then like I feel like 25, maybe a lot of people around you kind of pass, and I don't know why. I could be wrong, but that's just what I've noticed. That's just about the song. Um, uh, Also, I thought about it and stuff. I need to stop saying and stuff. It's just because I don't know what to say. I even wrote it down. Um, I don't really care if, well, I do care, but I don't really mind or care if my songs don't ever get um, like 1,000 views or anything. Of course, my goal would be 1,000 views, um, for one of my songs one day, but it's okay because if I feel like if I put too much importance on views, I kind of just will feel sad, and also that's not why I'm doing this. I feel like I'm doing this because it's an outlet for me, um, and it's also a place where I can have a community, you guys and stuff, um, a community of people, um, who maybe like to listen to my music or whatever stuff. but also you guys are really nice, and I can't thank you enough because I get really frustrated with myself, um, because this is a one person show, and sometimes I get frustrated and I feel like it's not good, like, and I'm not doing it right, because I never went to school for this, and I just kind of try to learn through YouTube videos, but even that sometimes I have trouble with, and I, yeah, but then you guys will comment stuff to keep going and tell me like, oh, it's good. So it makes me happy, and like even if I know it's not the best it can be, I'll still keep making stuff. So yeah. Um let's see. Yeah, that song, I did make it last summer, but it wasn't good. I did put it out, and but I had problems with it. I didn't like it. So I had to re-record some stuff and then learn some more stuff to fix it. So yeah. Uh, so I guess technically it took a year for me to make that, but not really because I just didn't really work on it over school too much. But yeah, it feels like you guys have given me kind of a new home. Like I have my home back home. This isn't my home, by the way. I'm staying in a Airbnb with two roommates for work for the summer. Um, so I have this online home. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, yeah, so I have this online home and community where I can freely express myself without being afraid of being judged and stuff. Or, I mean, I guess people will judge me, but I don't know if this makes sense. When I feel that, when I'm showing something to strangers rather than, not strangers if you guys have been here for a while, um, but when a video just pops up on someone's feed, they can just swipe past it if they don't want to, or if they're interested, they'll listen. So it makes me feel like if you click on it and comment, then you do care about it. So I feel like that's why I don't really tell my friends, and I do not tell my family. Maybe one day I'll tell my family, but not, no. um, because I don't want to be judged, if that makes sense. I feel like secretly, I guess the whole thing, familiarity breeds contempt. Um, Maybe you have a friend or something, and you're doing something that you enjoy, but and you want to be good at, and you tell them and you show them your work. Maybe I feel like secretly they'll scoff at you and be like, oh, you'll never be successful. I know that's not most people, and I know that is not most of my friends, but I'm still afraid, so I'm not going to do it. Um, I'd really just like to exist as a YouTube channel and let people who are interested come here and tune in if they want. Anyways, so um, I wrote another song. Well, I had a different song that I was working on, but then I was watching a show and a song came on the show. It was like a funeral for one of the characters or something. And then it was the first two opening words were I remember you, I remember you. And in my song, I didn't even know this other song existed, is I remember you, don't forget about me too. And I was like, it sounds very similar, and you know what? The rest of the song is not similar, but still. So that one's on hold for now. And I don't know when I'll continue it. I just want to make sure it's. I mean, I didn't even know that other song was a song before, so. Whatever. But I wrote another song. And guys, this one is not very deep. It's just a fun song I wrote. Um, but I really like it. Uh, I'm trying to make a bit of a different kind of sound with it. I don't know how different it's gonna end up being because it's still me who's doing it. So I feel like sometimes it's still gonna end up very similar. Um, but this one is less complicated, I feel like, and easier to make. So I'm hoping to have that done by the end of August, but I don't know if I will. Maybe September. I feel like I'll definitely have most of it done. But yeah, I'm actually leaving here August 8th, and then it'll take 3 days for me to get home because I live on the East Coast. And by the way, I'm in Denver right now. So that's a 3 day trip. And don't worry, I'm not driving alone. My dad is coming. Um, I could drive alone, but it would take longer and I'd be a little bit afraid of driving by myself and staying places by myself. Um, so yeah. And then after that, um, I probably won't be able to work on it for a week. My family does not really go on vacation because, uh, yeah, but we are gonna drive to Maine, which is from us like 7 hour drive up. Um, so we'll visit Maine for a little bit. Um, the last family vacation I remember going on was when I was like 10. Um, and we flew to California. But then after that vacation, we never went on vacation again. Um, I don't know why. I think either because it was just, by the way, my family is 6 people. If you have like 2 kids or 1 kid, which I've noticed a lot of families with like 2 kids or 1 kid, they'll go fly to Europe every summer. And I'm like, wow. But if you have like 3 or 4 kids, it's kind of too expensive to go vacation. So we haven't been on vacation in a very long time as a family. So hopefully it's good, but I don't know if your families are similar, but fighting happens easily sometimes. So I don't know how that will go. I hope we get to visit my uncle and aunt um, this summer. I don't see them as much. I don't see them very often because ever since my grandma died, we just don't have a middle ground to meet at. So they live all the way up Massachusetts and we're in New Jersey, which isn't that bad, but yeah. So, I mean, we basically see them for Chinese New Year and some like in the summer we saw them last time. So I hope we go see them again, but I don't know. Is that everything I want to talk about? I guess I can just free talk for now. How long is this? 19 minutes? Is everything? Okay. Oh wow. And also, I haven't worn makeup in a very long time because I think the first 2 days of work, I wore makeup. And then I just gave up. Every other day, every day after that, I just did not wear anything because I work 10-hour days, by the way, so I work 4 days, 10 days a week. I don't have the time or the care to put on makeup before going to work because you know what? I'm just in a cubicle and there's no one there for me to impress. Like, or there's no reason. There is no reason. And so I just don't. I don't need to. Um, as long as I do my work, it's fine. No one cares. No one cares at all. So I know in other countries it's different, and if you don't wear makeup, I know if women don't wear makeup to work, people will think you're kind of weird, but um, no one cares here, so I just don't. But I do miss wearing makeup from time to time because, though it is nice because I don't have to take it off at the end of the day if I don't wear it and it's just my face stays clean. but I do miss sometimes. My hair is being held up by a pencil. Okay, what else? Oh, yeah. I've been trying to get into Chinese dramas because my Chinese is really bad. It's really bad. It's not good. By the way, I'll tell you. So, I think I do get comments sometimes, and this is also in real life as well. Um, Sometimes people think I'm Korean. That seems to be the number one I get. I don't know why, because I don't think I look Korean. Um, Number two, I do get Japanese, which makes sense because on my Instagram I do have a song where I'm singing a Japanese song, and also here I sing a lot of Japanese songs. And you're like, Callisto, what? Why do you sing Japanese songs? I just like them a lot. Like, I when I was in high school and stuff, on my YouTube feed would pop up Japanese songs, like would be recommended to me, and I'd listen to them and I'd be like, oh wow, this is really good. And so I would just, learn and sing and stuff. Um, and then I did study for like 4 years, but I don't really study anymore because I don't really need to ever use Japanese in my life. Um, I did have a couple pen pals, but the thing is with pen pals, it's really hard to maintain them. Um, so we just follow each other on Instagram now, but we don't talk. It's kind of sad. Yeah, I had a couple. Um, I definitely knew one of them was totally lying to me because they said, number one, they said that I could pass for Japanese. I don't know why he said that because I don't think that's true. And second, they said, oh, your Japanese is good. And that's when you know they're lying. You know they're lying if they say that. So, I mean, he was nice, but yeah. And also, it was kind of interesting because later, I was just, to me, we were totally just friends, right? So I didn't see him as like a romantic interest or anything. Respectfully, he was really nice and stuff, but you know. And then one time, he told me he wanted me to talk to his girlfriend, and I was like, okay. And then I thought we were doing a call that Saturday, and I thought he meant that his girlfriend was gonna be in that call, and I was like, okay, this is weird, but all right. Um, and then I called, but then she never came. So I think what happened is she knew that he was talking to an American female and was like, oh, I don't like that. I want her to know that I exist, but I don't actually want to talk to her. And so that's the very, very subtle vibe that I got. So then after that, I just never contacted him unless he contacted me, which he never did. So I think I was correct in the vibe was that she wanted him to stop talking to me and she wanted me to stop talking to him. So I mostly just talk to girls. Um, so yeah, I had this friend. No, we don't really talk anymore. We talked a little bit when I was in, I think, 2020, 2021. She was nice. She was studying literature, so, but yeah. But sometimes you just have to like let it go. Like things like that come and go. So, and I have a friend along, not I'd say a pen. I have a pen pal in Taiwan. So oh yes, back to the point of what I was talking about. Yeah, so I get those two a lot. but I am not those. Um, I think most people can tell, most Chinese people can tell that I am Chinese. So I am, well, okay. This is, I don't want to, okay. My mother is from Taiwan. Okay. Okay. Whatever you, as when I'm here. Okay. So I'm in America. To most people here, it does not matter like Taiwan versus China. They don't really under, or like they don't differentiate. Um, so I just say I'm Chinese. Okay, I just say it's just easier. Like, I mean, I'm also far removed from that situation because I was born here. I'm American. I from like my mother's from Taiwan. Okay, and that's and a lot of my friends are Chinese. Um, so yeah. Um, and yeah, so I do look a lot like my mother when she was a bit younger and stuff. This is actually her shirt I am wearing. This is her shirt. I didn't like it at first because I thought it made my arms look weird, but um, I feel I wear a lot of her clothes uh, because I look so much like her. Um, her clothes tend to fit me as well. So yeah, um, I've been trying to get into Chinese dramas more because um, my Chinese is really bad. So I'm trying to fix it. I've been studying a lot. I wish I had put more effort in when I was younger because it would make my life now a bit easier. Okay, so my grandma is from Taiwan. If you know, there's also the dialect there, so she spoke that and Mandarin. So I was trying to learn the dialect more because at home she would speak that more, and but that was hard. And then I asked my Taiwanese friend about it. She's like, "Yeah, don't bother learning it. It's not worth it." So, yeah, I feel like I wasted a lot of time learning. Yeah, it's also hard when your parents don't speak it at home. If your parents don't speak at home, um, it's very difficult. I actually have this friend, he is Chinese, both his parents are Chinese as well, right? So you'd think that they would speak at home, but they actually don't because they went to college in the US. They came to the US for college and they met in college. And so even though they're both bilingual, they speak Chinese and English, they don't speak um, Chinese at home, they speak English. So that's why my friend also is probably same level as me. Or maybe, you know what, I feel like he must be a little bit better. Um, so, yeah, I remember growing up, a lot of my friends got sent to Chinese school. I never got sent to Chinese school. So I did always feel a bit um, left out, but also they would tell me that they didn't like it. So I don't know. Whatever. I'm learning now, which is what matters. What else did I want to talk about? I think that's it. I feel like there was more. This chair I'm sitting on is quite broken. This video is going to be a bit long, but I hope that's okay. But the other coworkers I have, they're about the same age as me, and they think that I'm really unhappy working at the company I work at, which, you know what, they're not wrong. But yeah, and one of them was like, I'm not trying to come off as mean or anything, but I seriously think you should reconsider your life. Do you even have any real interest in anything? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I like art and music and stuff. Um, and then he's like, you should sell on Etsy. And I'm like, I know he really means well. He does. But I have tried to sell art online, and I have sold a lot of art online, but the thing is, it's not even close to the amount of work that I put in to it that I can sell it for, you know? So I remember I had this painting I really liked, but I worked pretty hard on it, or I put in a lot of time. Um, and I could only sell it for $40, which compared to the amount of hours I put in for that, it's not worth it. So I only sell art if I make something and I want to get rid of it because I don't actually like it anymore, or yeah, because at some point I did start to get sad because I would sell off some of my art that I really liked that I wanted to keep. And then I was selling it at a price that was not worth the time. There's a plane going by. I don't know if you can hear that. So yeah, and I don't know what he wants me to do. Like I'm I told him, yeah, I try to make music. I didn't tell him about that I have a YouTube channel or anything. But I'm like, yeah, I try to make music and stuff and I like singing and stuff. Um but I don't know what he wants me to do. Like I can't just I need a job. You know, I need a job. I that's just I just like I'm not a nepo baby. Like I'm sorry that I'm not. Like I don't know what you want me to do. Like I don't he was just implying that oh I should just quit and do something else. I can't just do that. No one can just do that. Most 99% of the population cannot just quit their job if they're unhappy. I mean, you can. You can do it. But will you have job security? I don't know. Maybe you will. But not me. So most people know. And then even my parents, um, I remember when I was in the car because this was before going to college. My mom was like, "Callisto, why are you doing engineering? Do you even like it? You're so good at other things. Why don't you do those?" And it's like people don't I mean, I don't know. I think things were a little bit different 20 years ago when they were working or getting into their career and stuff. But I don't know why they think I can just go pursue art and music. Um, I there's just not the mobility for that in this economy and with my social standing. So I don't know. I also did like engineering. Like I thought it was cool and I was into space and stuff when I was younger. And I'm old. And I just don't really care anymore. I guess I did used to care. Um, but I kind of just lost faith in humanity and whatever. So I don't know. And it's also, this is another topic, so I'm not going to get into it, but I'll just leave it at that. That's for another time. And then my dad yesterday was like, I was just telling them, oh my gosh, I lost my glasses yesterday. I lost them, so now I'm wearing my contacts. Um, so that's crazy. And I was like telling him, yeah, I am not happy here working at this place. I feel like a zombie. And he's like, you really need to consider an alternate life direction because this is too early to be thinking like this. And I get that. He means well. But I cannot just quit. Like, I am moving branches possibly to be closer to home. Because a big part of it is I also don't. I was thinking last year that I might do a full-time job in Denver, but I can't. No, I'll die. I'll die. Me and my friend have a pact. We can't, not coming back. No. So, we're finding stuff on the East Coast. I want to be closer to my family and just the East Coast in general. I feel a little bit more comfortable. So Yeah, I am thinking of switching companies. Um, I have I have like a month or two to apply to new stuff, other stuff. I don't know if I'll be successful, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, so that's the whole thing. Like, and also they don't know that am trying to change my life trajectory. Like they always keep saying like, "Oh, you shouldn't do this because you can do you're good at other things, and if you don't like engineering, then you should quit." And I get that. But they also don't know that I am trying with this and you guys. Like, and I'm not gonna tell them that out of pride. Like, I think I almost did once because it kind of felt to me like they thought I was doing nothing with my life, which I know they're not. I know that I'm like the second oldest, and I've always, my whole life, tried very hard. Um, you know, it's just confusing because parents and older people will be like, "Oh, you need to make sure you have job security, but also we want you to be happy." I remember actually one of my coworkers last week was saying to me, he's like a dad to this, he's a dad, so he was telling me about he's like, "Oh, are you going to start masters soon?" I'm like, "Yep." And then he's like, um, "Oh, my daughter is going to start college." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Where is she going?" And he said, "Oh, she's going to Liverpool," which I know is in the UK, right? That's not in America. I'm like, "Wow, okay." I assumed that he was going to say like University of Colorado or something. And that she would be also in engineering because he's an engineer. But he said, "No, yeah, so she's going for acting and theater and singing and stuff." I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's really cool." Um, and then he's like, but then he was like, "Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's really far." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really far." I'm like, "Well, I said, well, you know what? I'm sure she's going to be a star, you know, because if she's going to school for it, I feel like, I don't know, she was sure to have connections and stuff, and she's practicing for it." So, and then he was like, "Well, I hope so, because it's that or she's waiting tables her whole life." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And he's like, "Yeah, because that just seems to be the job outlook there." So for him, it kind of seems like he wants her to chase her dreams. Sorry, there's a plane going by. I'll pause. There's always planes going by. Anyways, so it seems like he wants her to chase her dreams, but he also wants job security, which, of course, if I was a parent, yes, I want my kid to be able to pay their own bills and live well. I just think adults, I mean, I'm an adult, of course. I mean, parents, older adults, put a lot of pressure on, after a while, they put pressure on you doing well, but then they also put pressure on you being happy. Like, you can't have both. You can't want me to have a secure job and be happy. Like, that's a if you can achieve that in life, I applaud you. I really do, because that's really hard to do. Find a job that you like. Um, but yeah, so, and you know what? I think it's okay to not be happy. It's who, like, especially in your 20s, it's okay because you need to just honestly figure out what you're doing. And people can't expect you to be happy all the time. Like, that's just not, doesn't make sense. So, I, yeah, I'm okay with it. So, that is really everything. Okay, that's the end of the video. That is everything I had to talk about today. If you would like to subscribe, if you've stayed this entire video, kudos to you. Um, you can subscribe, I think, is it down there maybe? No, I think it's down there. And if you would like to listen to my music, you can go give it a listen. I think I'll put one right here. And darn, it's already time to say goodbye. I'm so sad. I like talking with you guys. But yeah, it's already 42 minutes. It's too long. Ah, I'm so sad. Okay. Bye, guys. I will see you in the next one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye. Oh wait, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Also, you see, I have all these baby hairs. My mom also has these. But you know what? I have a lot less on this side because when I was in high school and early college, when I would get stressed, I would pull out. So I've been trying to regrow my hair with rosemary, but I don't know if it's working because I have less hair on this side of my head than this. I try to just cover it like that. But watch this. Ah, where is it? Watch. Wait, no, it didn't fall. No. Okay, there you go.